I tell folks that I don't think there's anything necessarily like special about food, in that I think other things can be a forum for conversations that are not typically had. So whether that could be over drinks, it could be over sports, it could be over whatever. But I think that it's important to have all these non-traditional spaces host these very important questions, because you don't find conversations often about difficult topics in food spaces, but you also don't find them in other spaces too. So I think the more we put them in spaces that they are not usually, I think, the better we are, the better we might be as a community of folks who are trying to figure out how to do things better. I learned that he made some amazing murals. I think for me, what strikes me about his life and his work was the sort of peripatetic nature of it. He moved around, and also what I think is like an audacity to do things that were not at the time like prescribed for folks like him. I would like to think that I have, or at least I attempt some of that, trying to just be bold, not because it's a sport, but I think sometimes it's just important to try things and push yourself and hopefully learn along the way. I think from the beginning, my cooking had always been just a medium for me. It takes a lot of effort and work, and there's some skill involved. But for me, it's always been what the food is pointing to, or what the meal is pointing to, what the message is, and it's never been about food. And in fact, the times where in the spaces that I create, that food recedes into the background, whether that's when I really feel like I'm doing work that I want to do. Like, I'm not interested in my food being the focal point of any of the spaces or conversations or art that I make. I think it's an entryway into the work or into the idea, but it's not the foreground. I'm looking forward to meeting people and having conversations. I travel a lot for my work, for my life, and I'm never interested in like seeing sites necessarily or visiting places, except restaurants to eat, because I love food. But I'm always interested in people. I feel like it's people that make a place, and so talking to folks about what's happening in Cincinnati, meeting folks who are doing interesting and exciting things, learning, that's the thing that excites me.